young people at Generation Excel who are now the worship minister and the youth director at Abounding Grace, and they're going to perform an original song called Take the Lead.
Together, take the lead. I'll trust in you. You're all I need. Put all aside to see the way. You have my love. My life is yours. My heart is yours. Forever yours. Your love, it never fails me. Come and wrap your arms around me. You lift me up in every situation. My hope and my salvation. And what we were is not who we are. You brought me here. You've come this far. You never fail. You're always hope. You take my fears, wipe my tears. Your love, it never fails me. Come and wrap your arms around me. You lift me up in every situation. My hope and my salvation. Your love, it never fails me. Come and wrap your arms around me. You lift me up in every situation. My hope and my salvation. Take the lead, light the way. I'll take your path. You have my faith. Take the lead, light the way. I'll take your path. You have my faith. Take the lead, light the way. I'll take your path. You have my faith. Take the lead, light the way. I'll take your path. You have my faith. Take the lead, light the way. I'll take your path. You have my faith. Take the lead, light the way. I'll take your path. You have my faith. Take the lead, light the way. I'll take your path. You have my faith. Take the lead, take the lead, take the lead. You're all I need. Your love, it never fails me. Come and wrap your arms around me. You lift me up in every situation. My hope and my salvation. Your love, it never fails me. Come and wrap your arms around me. You lift me up in every situation. My hope and my salvation. Your love, it never fails me. Come and wrap your arms around me. You lift me up in every situation. My
to invite Eden to join us in the conversation. And as she comes, I'm reminded of a prophetic verse in Zechariah chapter 8, verses 3 through 5, that talks about the return of God to his city, Jerusalem. And he says, "Then Jerusalem will be called the city of truth, and the mountain of the Lord Almighty will be called the holy mountain. This is what the Lord Almighty says. Once again, men and women of ripe old age will sit in the streets of Jerusalem, each with cane in hand because of his age. The city streets will be with boys and girls playing there." I love that intergenerational picture of what grace actually looks like when it infills a city and transforms the city, that you would have old men and women and young children occupying the same safe streets at the same time. And to see this picture, an intergenerational picture, Eden came to Generation XL as a 12-year-old when Enid was the director there. And you got to know her, and now you're colleagues in ministry in the same neighborhood. You're the youth director at Abounding Grace 10 years later. She's the youth director at Avenue of Hope. And you're doing ministry together. But when you were 12, you weren't necessarily ready for ministry. What was that like, coming and getting to know Enid at the youth center?
12 years old, it was definitely a rough time, I guess, in my life. I come from a single-parent home, so I'm kind of a neighborhood statistic, and it could have easily gone the wrong way. And coming into Generation XL, and hearing even what Eden was saying earlier about how she was that shoulder to cry on when she needed to be, there were just so many people there who expressed the love of God with every action, that they never needed to say anything. They never needed to quote a Bible verse because I saw Jesus in them. And coming into that experience and just kind of feeling that love and feeling that that connection, it really kind of helped me get through that time, because it really isn't easy growing up in a single-parent home. And yeah, it was really a great experience. Like
Eden, you're an LES lifer, born and raised, and
yeah.
And describe what it was like growing up in a community like that.
The Lower East Side is rough. Came up in, I guess, a more fortunate situation because I had good people around me. But kids there are rough. There are still gangs today. There's still gang violence today. So, growing up in that, you're still surrounded by that, and you're still exposed to things that other neighborhoods aren't exposed to and other people don't have to see. And when you have to deal with that and process that growing up, it's really like you have a choice. What road are you going to go down? And it's kind of a tough thing to kind of balance out and figure out how you're going to direct yourself through life and get there to where you want to be. Where you want to be.
Enid, first impressions are often lasting ones. What was your first impression of Eden when she was a precocious 12-year-old at Excel?
Precocious is an understatement, I tell you. She was hyper, she was energetic, but she was witty and intelligent. And you saw even from that early age that God had a special plan for her. The challenge, though, over the years was to get her to understand that and really to harness all that energy, all that talent, really for His glory. Because as she said, where we grew up, I mean, there's so many things vying for these kids' attention that it's easy for them to become a neighborhood statistic. So it's my pleasure, my joy to see her in the, serving in the capacity that she is today. She really is, I mean, a walking picture of God's grace.
And so you're in this space, you're young, you're being reined in to some degree by one of your mentors, Enid, and given opportunities to lead. What was that like as a teenager in the LES, to be given leadership even though others may not have embraced you as a leader yet?
It's intimidating, but for me, I think it was exciting. I mean, growing up, it's just that excitement to lead, which is kind of why I've just thanked God so much for that. Like, He's given me an ambition and a passion to do so, and I've always been able to step out in faith and just kind of trust Him with everything. So it was a really exciting time, and then even, stuff with music writing, that all came along at such an early time through Express, which was kind of like the offset of Generation XL for teenagers, and it just helped move me into such a good mental and spiritual place, a confident place. So it was intimidating, but it was also a great experience and challenging in a good way.
So you just graduated from college and have made congratulations on that, by the way.
Thank you.
That's quite an achievement. But you've made a decision as a recent college graduate to pay it forward and to stay engaged, not in youth ministry in some generic space, but particularly in the community of your childhood where you've grown up. Why was that important to you?
Well, for me, I guess maybe one of the biggest things is I see so many people graduate and move forward and they leave. And that's it. And they see this broken neighborhood and they just have no desire to fix it. And I don't be perfectly fixed. Have an accountability in doing the right thing and in serving in our homes. And the Lower East Side, that's my home. And I believe that God has called me there. And, you know, I've told Pastor Rick, you know, I'm not just here to fill a space. I'm here because God put me here. And I believe that God's going to use me and everyone that's in that neighborhood to do something amazing and to see his plan move forward. And I feel like I was also so blessed. You know, I've always, if I didn't have Enid, if I didn't have you, if I didn't have Pastor Rick, where would I be? I needed those people, and I'm just honored to be that, hopefully be that person for a youth in the neighborhood.
As you talk about the neighborhood being your home, what's your vision for that home, for that community?
My vision for that home, I guess, is really to see lives transformed by the power of Jesus Christ. I mean, it's something that's only possible in him. And when I say transformed, I mean people living fulfilled lives, people living lives at peace. Because you walk into the neighborhood and you almost feel this burden because you can tell there are broken people here. There are people that are suffering. There are people that are, in some cases, many cases, just being ignored. And I want to see God do what I know he's going to do and just continue to just draw people closer to him and transform lives in a real way.
Pastor Rick, when you hear people like Eden and Enid describe their passion for people and their heart for ministry, what does that do for you?
It just makes it all worth it. All the sacrifice. This is what we live for, to create an environment so that our young people can grow and lead, and to know that your passion is for Jesus and to transform the community. I believe it's going to happen. So I'm in a stage of life where I'm wondering how much time I have left. And I feel like one of those folks with the canes out there. But I